Okie dokie, boys and girls. So after 6 days, I'm gonna do the same hold training for front lever, which means it's a pull day. But more important than that, it makes me quite nervous because today, if there is any improvement compared to last time, it would mean that I either get insanely close to the 45-second front lever or I just get the 45-second front lever. So I'm nervous for this one, you know. I spent some time on the toilet, but nervousness isn't gonna help because I realized that if you want to hold the front lever for a long time, you have to be as relaxed as possible. So that's what I'm gonna try and do in these coming sets. But you know, nervous or not, ain't nothing to it but to do it, as a wise man once said. You know, there is not a single option aside from actually doing this 5-set 45-second training that will satisfy me, right? Yes, it's fucking scary, but I just have to deal with it, and that's true for a lot of things, right? If you care for something, right? If you care for a goal that you're having, of course you're gonna be nervous, but that's a good sign because then you know that you're doing something that you love, right? Unless, you know, you're nervous for an exam and you're like, oh fuck, I hate studying, I don't want to do this shit again, you know, that's something different. But if you're doing something of your own choice, right? Training is your own choice. You don't just do this because you have to most of the time, right? Especially calisthenics, I don't think anyone's forcing you to do it. So when you then get nervous for a goal, right? You get nervous for your first fill planche, you get nervous for your front lever, for your pistol squat, whatever. That's because you care. And because you care, you should fucking not go out of your way, right? You should just go head on, straight on to your goals and attempt them, right? Because that's what's gonna get you gains in the end, right? Facing reality, right? And doing those max attempts, doing those difficult sets, doing those difficult trainings, that's what's gonna make you progress. And it's something that, you know, I'm saying right now, but I'm saying it to myself as well, because I've been avoiding max attempts and hard sit on the front of it for a long time because it was so scary, right? Because I was scared of failing. So today, I just have to fucking try. That's all I'm gonna say. But does that mean I'm not scared? Of course not. You know, I'm scared for this. I'm scared to fail, but you know, I'm able to accept it. I guess accept it to the point that I'm able to do the set anyway. So enough yapping. Let's just give it a go. 5 sets of 45-second hold. We're gonna get 10 minutes of rest in between, so that's a long time. And I'll see you on the other side. All right, so I think that's 42 seconds, which is the exact same as my record. Holy shit. Just a little bit more, you know, but I couldn't hold it. I might have to take a gamble here and like stop front lever training for a couple days to the point that I have no soreness left in my lats, because I'm starting these holds with soreness in my lats, like a lot. I'm constantly having to like raise my arms because my because my lats are just so sore and tight. So if I can get rid of that, yeah. If I can get rid of it, I might be fresh enough to do fucking 45 seconds. Holy shit. Okay, I'm gonna do a gamble. I'm gonna do the 4 remaining sets, 50 seconds. It's gonna be insanely hard, but after that, I'm not gonna do front lever for a while. I'm just gonna let it rest up, you know, spare myself on the remaining trainings as well. and basically just go for it, 45 seconds. Let's 50-second sets. Let's go. How the fuck am I gonna do 2 more sets? Let's find out in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, holy fucking shit. Alright, I'm gonna move on to an accessory exercise just to loosen up the lats again, because you would think, right? A lot of blood flow, the lats are gonna be loose as a goose, but if there is an opposite word for loose as a goose, that's what my lats are at the moment, because holy fucking shit, they're so stiff. When you train with soreness, one of the problems, I mean, I don't think it's bad to train with soreness, but one of the problems is, the lats will just become so much more stiff after that as well, especially if you go to your limit. So I'm feeling these bad boys a lot. They need some recovery. So what I'm gonna do is one last set of normal pull-ups, just to get some movement in the lats, to get a stretch, because when you're doing the dead hang like this, I feel the fucking stretch. So I'm gonna do some pull-ups, focus on the dead hang to get a good stretch, and basically finish the workout that way. And then, I'll take a couple days off before attempting anything new in the front lever, because these trainings very rewarding and I think effective, because hey, 42 seconds, that's matching my PB, but nonetheless, they're effective, but also very tiring. So I need some rest after this session. All right, let's put that bar upside, or upright, I should say, and then do some pull-ups. Okay, that's it for today's training. 5 sets of 50 seconds was an insane intensity. Well, I guess the first set was only 45 seconds, but yeah, very intense. I am due for some rest, I need to let my lats heal, because they've been sore for the past 2 weeks or something. Like every day, every time I enter the front lever, just the soreness, the stiffness in the lats, it's stinging me, You will get the feeling if you've trained with soreness before. But while I have been getting stronger, I think it's time for some rest. So I'm probably gonna take like 5 days off the front lever completely. I might do some extra sets tonight still, but then just 5 days off completely. And then it's gonna be a bit of a gamble, Will my lats freshen up in those 5 days? And then if they do, will my front lever stay fresh so that I can actually, get to those 45 seconds? We'll have to wait and see, in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. I've made that reference already today, but every time I say we'll find out next time, I just think about Dragon Ball Z. Anyway, yeah, when it comes to the fucking training contents, I mentioned it briefly in the beginning, ain't nothing to it but to do it. This shit today was hard. Like, I'm fucking scared to do things like this because I care so deeply about it. And, well, the wise words come from Ronnie Coleman, if you didn't know. He was a bodybuilder and he was talking about everyone want to be a bodybuilder, but nobody wanna lift these heavy ass weights because it's hard. He was talking about people avoiding the hard stuff and people wanting to do stuff until they're faced with the hard things they have to do to achieve it, right? And the same is true for everything, right? Not only bodybuilding, not only lifting heavy weight, but every time you have a goal, right, and you're struggling to hit it, there is going to be like certain steps, certain important sessions towards your goal that are going to be difficult. And it's by doing those sessions, by not avoiding them, that you're going to get there in the end. But, of course it's scary. Of course, sometimes you're going to fail, and that's okay. So today was one of those days. Like, I was scared going into it because I was already sore in my lats, I already was tired before even going into it. So I was like, oh shit, what if I get weaker, I was scared of that. But in any case, you have to do the session, if you've planned that session, you have to do it to then be able to reorganize and see where you have to go from there. It's an important step. So let's not avoid the hard things. That's all I'm trying to say. And yeah, that's it for today's workout. I'm just gonna have a shower and some breakfast, or actually, yeah, my breakfast will not be a lot because I'm not hungry at all. I've been eating chicken thighs, plural, for the last couple of days. But anyway, I'll eat something because I'm bulking, I have to. And then I'll see you tomorrow for a heavy leg day. So let's go.